Hi guys, it's me Evie from Evie's Creations, and I wanted to take some time today to address a few questions that I get from readers and viewers. And one of them is how can you justify the cost of buying a brand new Cricut Air 2? The Cricut Air 2 retails for $2.99. If you use my affiliate code, you can often get a lot of percentages off. Not just the machine, occasionally the machine, but also on all the supplies. So, check my affiliate code out. It's on my blog. For me, I honestly can say that I use my Cricut almost every day, at least 3 or 4 times a week. Obviously, it's a little different for me because I am a paid Cricut blogger. That said, I find excuses to use my Cricut even when I'm not being paid to do it. I work in interior decor. I work in home decor. So for me, I make signs for clients. I make signs for my store. I make signs for myself. I make prints. I make a gazillion things with them. Even when I'm not being paid, I actually just enjoy using it. I personalize my children's stuff with it. For my daughter, she enjoys having her name in beautiful font, vinyled on everything. So we do that at the beginning of the school year. Her locker is amazing. We even decorate her friends' lockers for their birthdays using the Cricut machine. We make little vinyl decals and stuff like that, because there's temporary vinyl that you can remove. There's also permanent vinyl. I also make really cute gifts with it to give to my friends, and I make stuff for myself. This I made for myself. It says cheers on it. I made this back in January for a party. I think it was a New Year's Eve party, and I think I demoed it on Home Talk or something like that. But it was fun, super easy. And like I said, I just use it all the time. This is my personal glass. This is what I drink my rosé out of. But yeah, I definitely believe that it justifies the cost. You will, especially if you're using it as a business. I know that many people sell all of their Cricut made items online, in stores, or physically even in stores too, not just online stores. And I know that they get their money back way quicker than they expect to. Holidays, people love buying t-shirts for holidays for their children, baby onesies. People love any sort of holiday decor, so a lot of people do that. Another thing that I've seen people do are acrylic blanks. So there's like a whole community of acrylic blank people. And I have a few acrylic blanks that I've made. I've made myself some keychains. There was like a Longhorns one that I made that you can check out on the blog. I'm a big Longhorns fan. Hook 'em Longhorns. And you know what? I find that I use it all the time. So can you justify $299? I think you can, especially if you're like me. I love to make handmade gifts. For my kids' teachers, I always make handmade gifts. So at the end of the school year, it's so much easier for Teacher Appreciation Week. It's so much easier to just pop out my machine and do whatever I want to do with it. Now they're pretty, so I actually leave mine out because it's mint. So mine stays out. It's pretty. It's part of my decor. I make shirts for myself, like this one. When I go on my trips, I make shirts just for fun. I'm a big geek. I love books, so a lot of my projects are book inspired. We're going to be showing you how to do this soon, and this is just the vinyl. But yeah, it's based on a book. And like I said, for me, I do make money off of it, not just my blog posts. I actually end up selling what I make all the time because people enjoy it. So what tools do you need alongside it? Because obviously you're going to buy the machine, but you need to buy other stuff with it. So I obviously would suggest that you buy the Cricut vinyl. They have permanent and they have also temporary. The ones that I use for my stencils are temporary because I don't need them to stick forever. Your transfer tape. I have the Cricut transfer tape, but you can buy whatever transfer tape you want. I just personally like the Cricut one. It's very sticky though, so what I do is I just, if I need it to not be too sticky, I go ahead and just plop it down on a clean surface just to get a little bit of the tackiness off. That said, when I'm doing stuff like this, that's very intricate and tiny, like you see all the little tiny triangles, I need it to be sticky, so I prefer it. This is my #1 tool that I use. The cutter, and for me it's my favorite one out of all the cutters that I've ever used because it has this, you guys, so you can measure exactly how much or how little you need. It's very sharp. This came as part of a kit, a whole set that I had. I think these are the ones that came with it. Actually, it was the gold set, and it was exclusive to Joann's. You can buy it now online as well on Cricut.com, and like I said, if you use my affiliate code, you can usually get a 10% discount and free shipping. So hit me up about that. And it comes with a scoring tool as well, not just and an extra blade. The whole package, the whole set. It's like 40 bucks. And I use this every time I use my Cricut because then I can not waste a gazillion, amounts of vinyl. I know exactly how much I need. So if I need, a 4x4 square, guess what? I'm going to get to cut an exact 4x4 square, and it's going to be nice and neat and even and not all jagged. So when I put it down on my mat, it's perfect, ready to go. My other Cricut tool that I use often is my scissors. While I use the cutter more to get the vinyl down to size, I use this for all my little intricate cuts. And one of my little tricks, as you can see right here, is when you're doing curved surfaces. I mean, it's like math. You learn this in grade school. You make little tiny triangles. And the triangles help to hug the curved space, like, kind of like a map. When you roll it out, right, it's going to look kind of cut out at the top because it was round before, the globe when you take it apart. So that's what I do. That's my little tip for the day is make little cuts in your vinyl triangles. That helps with the curved surfaces. And then you don't have as many air bubbles and as many uneven, spaces where if you're trying to etch glass especially, or even if you're trying to just lay down vinyl onto a glass surface, it really, in order to get it nice and down, you really should do that. So I use this for that. I also use it just all the time whenever I need scissors. I like them. Again, these are the gold ones, so this was a part of the whole set that I bought, or actually this one was sent to me. I didn't buy this one, but I have bought many sets because I just keep them. I use them all the time, and I lose them too. I'm terrible. When I go on my home shows, I always end up either giving them away because people are nice and they like them, or whatever. So yeah, and then my scraper tool. It's from the same set. So I think these are probably the tools that I use the most. So this one's little, but for smaller, little tiny intricate ones. But they also make a really big one, which I like for when I'm doing the signs. It's like that big, and I literally just go to town when I'm trying to get the air bubbles out of my signs. And of course, my weeding tool. I like this weeding tool. I also sometimes use a box cutter. Just the blade, just because it's a little sometimes easier to lift. But I honestly use this for everything vinyl related. I like that it's nice and sharp at the end, and I can really get all the intricate little tiny pieces. Like this is a pain in the butt to weed. I wouldn't be able to do this without this. So those are my top 4 tools. And like I said, this comes with more tools and more stuff. And I think even, I'm not sure what exactly the kit contains, but it all costs, less than $40. And it's what I use the most. So I have other tools, but I don't necessarily use them. I don't use the tweezers too much. I personally, because of my RA hands, I can't use the tweezers too much. That pincer grasp is tough for me. But I mean, it comes in the whole kit. So if you use it, if you don't have RA hands like I do, you might use them. But those are my top 4 tools. So I think you can justify, the cost of it. $299 in the grand scheme of things when you're making so many things, and when you're able to sell them. If you want to start a store, if you have a store, I do believe it's a great investment, and I do believe that you get your return almost immediately. I want to say within the first few months of it. An extra tool that I use a lot because I do like to make my invitations for my kids' parties, for my friends' parties. I'm working on wedding invitations right now. Or I just did some wedding invitations, and I'm going to work on like table numbers for my brother's stuff that's coming up soon. So hooray. But so I use a lot of the pens, the Cricut pens. This one's a ballpoint one, so it's for thinner ones. And then there's like, your calligraphy. This is your calligraphy tip. And yeah, totally worth the money. You will find excuses to craft and pull it out. If you're creative like I am, and even if you're not, it is such an easy machine to use, and Design Space has so many Make It Now projects in it already that you don't even have to be that creative. It's already done for you. So you just push the button, set up the vinyl, and you're good to go. So thank you for hanging out with me today, and I hope I answered some of your questions. If you have any more, please always email me, info@abby'screations.com, or just leave it in the comments here on YouTube or on Facebook. All right? Thank you, guys. Bye.